Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Walking the Crooked Path. I am your host, Ravenwings, and today my very special guest is Reverend Terrie Brookins. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Now, what
Hello.
are we going to call you Reverend this whole time, or can I just
No,
call you
no.
Terrie?
You can just call me Terry, please. I can't take it. I usually save the Reverend title for people I have to smack down, so it's okay.
There you go. There you go. And there's a few of those out there, I'm sure.
Mhm.
All right. So I wanted to begin because now you live in Canada,
Yes.
and you've been there for how long?
14 extremely cold years.
I live in Maine, so I can relate. Spring has not coming. I've determined
Yeah.
spring is just an
Yeah.
elusive creature. This year, it's just I think Mother Nature's off her meds and she's bipolar, and yeah, I'm not happy because the ground is still frozen here. We couldn't plant if we wanted to, so yeah,
Uh-huh.
it's going to be fun to say the least. So, but you didn't always live in Canada.
No, I did not always live in Canada. I am originally from New Orleans.
Hmm.
I met my husband is through a mutual friend, and he makes me laugh. He spoils me rotten. He does his own laundry. So hey,
Hey, you can't beat that.
can't beat that. He cooks. I'll take it.
Oh, there you go.
And yeah, the rest is kind of mystery. And yeah, here I am, still in Canada.
Hey, that works though, And in Canada, I'm quite sure that you're well known up there. I mean, you have a pretty good pagan community up there, correct?
I do. I belong to the Durham region. The Durham Pagans, a great bunch of people, because of course we all know it's a little different in Durham. And yeah, they're a great community. They always take care of me. And yeah, they're great people.
That is awesome. And you are ordained to do marriages. That is correct.
That is correct.
Okay. Now, I know that, in the states, well, in most of the states that aren't fighting it tooth and nail, we can do same-sex marriages here. Are you allowed to do that in Canada?
Yes, I am. And I've done one. Those girls were just gorgeous.
Aw.
And they were just gorgeous, and they were just as nervous as any other married couple or soon-to-be married couple. And I've done hand fastings to basically full-out pagan medieval weddings, complete with an archery range and 10-foot fire pit and jousting. Yeah, it's been fun times.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about the different weddings you've done and stuff, because I'm sure you do all different weddings, because you're ordained as a minister of all different faiths, I'm assuming.
Yes, in Ontario, you're a lay chaplain, and then you have the honor of being recognized by the government to officiate marriages. So that means two people want to get married, that's fine. If they want to have a non-religious wedding where it's just you two have come together, you both agree to this, excellent. Sign here, there we go, and I'll follow out the paperwork to the full-out ceremony where we're calling the quarters and lighting fires and anointing people, the whole thing. So we can do it all for you.
Oh, so you get to do jumping the broom and everything on that.
Oh, yes.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
That is nice.
That's
See,
it.
that's why I love the hand fastings with the cords and the jumping the broom, and I just
Yeah.
love all of it.
Yeah, it's a very, very fun Celtic tradition, jumping the broom. Very
Oh,
fun stuff.
yes, yes. Well, see, I don't need to jump a broom. I'm all done with those years of having children. So I'm a grandma now. No more babies for me. So yeah, once you have grandchildren, you don't want to have any more children, because the last thing you want is your grandchildren and your child in school together going at the same play. No.
Go in there. Just
Yeah.
gonna let that one go.
Yeah, exactly. There are some people out there, or you're attending high school with your child. So, Hey, Onyx Moon is in the chat room too.
Hi.
Glad you could make it. That's another one of our hosts. So Onyx Moon is in the chat room. Another question for you. What path do you follow? Do you follow a path?
I do have a path. It's a bit of a crooked one.
Yes.
It is a bit of a crooked one. It's more of an Afro-Celtic path.
Hmm.
And what I mean by Afro-Celtic is that I don't know if you've noticed. Many of my friends do notice that I am black. I know it's a shocker. Just try to breathe through it.
See, I just thought you had a really good tan going on.
See, I'm working on it.
Yeah. And in Canada, that's amazing. She's going to a tanning salon.
But as an African American, I do follow a Celtic path.
Hmm.
So my patron god is Lou, my patron goddess is Bridget, the Fae are in my house. So it's fun times. But I do have those ties to my culture, my native culture, which is from New Orleans. So I do have some of the native ties there, which are, First Nations, American Indians, the voodoo, the hoodoo thing. So I have all of those things. It's in my blood, and therefore it's more of an Afro-Celtic path than anything.
Hmm. And with the New Orleans type of hoodoo, this is more of a French thing anyway, because New Orleans is mostly French.
Um, Not exactly true. They have a lot of French names.
Hmm.
That's because sort of like the last people who took over were the French, and everyone said, you know what, screw it, we're not just going to redo all the signs. But New Orleans is a port town, so they have all the cultures coming through all the time. So it's French, it's Spanish, it's Irish, it's Scottish,
Hmm.
it's Blackfoot, it's Hispanic, it's everything. So while you will have a lot of the French names, you'll notice that when you're there, there's a lot of Spanish architecture.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Irish ironworks. So it's a very wonderful sort of melting pot city. It's almost like a mini Canada.
Ah.
Everyone can just do their own thing. And if it's a day that ends in Y, we'll have a festival or a party.
Yeah,
What's up?
exactly. I've always wanted to go there for Mardi Gras, but at the same time, not so much. I'm more afraid to go there during Mardi Gras than I am anything else, because I've seen it on TV, mostly the
Yeah,
cop shows.
and it's not like that. I mean, if you're on Bourbon Street and you've had a little bit too much and then a little bit too much over that, yeah, maybe it'll be like a cop show, but it's really a great time. If you decide to go about 2 weeks before Mardi Gras
Hmm.
and stay out of the French Quarter and enjoy all the family parades,
Yeah.
enjoy Demian, enjoy the Rex Parade and all the wonders that are there. I mean, it's a great time, especially if you get up early enough. I never do. To see the parade. Wonderful.
Now, I have a question for you. Have you ever witnessed one of the funerals that parade down the street down there? Because I've seen them, on TV and stuff like that, but I bet you it must be incredible to watch one.
It is incredible. It is life-changing. It is impactful. And it's quite a sight to see because most of the time it's no longer the stereotypical horse-drawn carriage.
Hmm.
There are lots of people, and there's usually the all the dancing stuff that you see usually happens after the burial.
Hmm.
They're all going back for the repast, but it's an amazing thing to see.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing to see, especially if the person who has now passed away was greatly loved by the community. Yeah,
Yeah.
most of the times you have to get the loved ones to sort of move out of the way because they're in horrible grief and they don't want to let go, and the music's playing, and suddenly the brass band strikes up "I'll Fly Away," and then it's just, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
3 hours later, you might get to the burial grounds.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, it amazes me they celebrate it, and that's what I love so much about it. It's kind of like the Day of the Dead. It's a
Right.
celebration. It's not a mourning. It's a celebration of someone's life. And I'm hoping, when I pass, it would work that way. I don't want somebody crying over my grave. I want have fun, go a party, drink a couple for me, you know.
Why
Yeah,
not?
exactly. And I've always had this saying, if you couldn't be there during my life, don't come to my funeral. It's like, don't,
Mm.
because, I'd rather have you here while I'm alive. And you just get that vibe and that feeling from New
Mhm.
Orleans that everybody's just, so friendly,
And
and just everybody takes care of everybody.
and they do, and of course, as we both know, the dead never leave us.
No.
So it's basically that one last party for them,
Hmm.
and then the veneration happens in many different forms, and depending on whatever spiritual path the person follows. So
Yeah.
it's interesting. It's very
Now,
interesting.
do they do, like at Samhain, do they do the celebration like the Day of the Dead? Because if there's a lot of Hispanics there, I'm assuming that they must do some of that as well.
They do, however, it's very. I won't say that it's very private, but it's not publicized.
Okay.
They have their own communities that they do that. It's not a giant free-for-all festival.
Hmm.
At Samhain, Well, you do have to remember that New Orleans is a port city. All the cultures are there. Of course, a lot of people who met the end of their lives are there. So
Yeah.
at Samhain, basically, the entire city really is a ghost town.
Oh,
No,
wow.
no, no. The place is a ghost town. So you've got the river, which is basically a magical wonder and physical wonder of itself, because the Mississippi basically comes down, goes under New Orleans, and then flows from west to east, and then from south to north to go up and then back out into the Gulf. So you can't tell me that's not magic. So
Yeah, exactly.
that alone. So now you have Samhain where the veil is the thinnest, and basically anyone who hasn't decided to pass along, they're around and making themselves known. We're still here. And of course, that's a perfect time for those who want to contact their loved ones who follow that path. They go right out and they do their thing. So yeah, it's a ghost town.
Wow.
Scary, crazy, almost crazier than Mardi Gras, because most people are trying out their costumes for Mardi Gras, for physics and make sure they can actually, walk around in them. Yeah, fun times.
Yeah, I see the guys with the stilts that walk around during Mardi Gras and stuff, and I'm like, you know what? I have a problem on heels, so that'll never happen, right? So,
Yeah. I'm a Taurus. I'm still on the ground thing.
yeah, exactly. I'm afraid of heights, so I have a couple of pair of heels that make me nervous. So yeah, exactly.
Just by sitting there, because
Yeah, exactly. It's like I'm looking at them, going, should I try it? Well, I don't know,
Don't do it. It's a trap.
Exactly. See, it's a little different though when you come into like an area from where I'm from, because I lived in Lowell. And I spent just about every other weekend in Salem. And for Salem, I would recommend the same thing that you're saying for Mardi Gras for Louisiana. Go, a week or two before. And I say the same thing for Salem, Mass. When it comes Samhain time, go a week or two before. You really it's crazy there. There's over 1 million people, and there's just no room for them in that little town. But it's a beautiful place to go. It's right on the water, and a lot of people don't realize that with like Salem. Salem is right on the water. It is a harbor town. And before, the whole witch hysteria thing was around, it was a harbor town, and they have a lot of different things that they do for the harbor stuff. So it's absolutely beautiful. They have ships down there and everything. I have pictures up on my Facebook page. So, it's just awesome down there. But I want to go to the bayous so bad. So bad. I don't, want to go. I don't need to see Marie Laveau's gravesite, which isn't really hers anyway, because they've moved her and hidden her.
I'll agree. Agree to this.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would just love to go to just the bayous because they just look amazing. I love swampland. I grew up in Florida, so kind of used to the swampland. Now,
and there's something about the Spanish moss that tends to make you miss it.
Yeah, it does. And people buy that stuff up north. I was like, you people buy this stuff? They sell it in Michael's and stuff. And I was like, wow, we used to just go outside and get it off the tree.
It's killing our oak trees. We try and take it off.
Yeah, you can sell that stuff.
Crazy.
You can make money with that. I was like, oh my God. I moved up here and a little itty bitty bag. They want like $7 for it. I was like, wow, I should have brought the stuff with me.
Okie
So, what do you do like in your daily magical life? Because I live a magical life that I work daily because I don't cast circles or anything. I'm a kitchen witch and an earth witch, so we're magical all the time. How do you deal with your daily magical life?
Well, daily magical life is pretty simple. It's usually, I have a spirit guide that I worship every day. I honor every day, and the ancestors, so they have their day as well, that I honor their memory. I do simple candle magic, drawing, releasing, just for my own work. I do kitchen witchery as well, because if anyone knows me, I am not fat, I am faithful, okay? I did not get this big eating at McDonald's. Just putting that out there.
And you have a husband that can cook, so.
He makes a mean quiche, I'm just saying, all right?
Oh,
it's delicious.
Love quiche. Oh, and I'm sure you know how to make a gumbo, so.
Yes, I do. Yeah. I know how to make gumbo, I know how to make etouffee, I know how to make pralines.
Touche pie?
Yes, please.
Oh, yes. Okay, we just wandered off the subject because we're into food now. I'm a
It's
foodie.
kitchen retreat. That
Yes,
works.
I'm such a foodie too. I'm horrible when I love all foods. The only thing I will not eat is liver, but everything else is game. But
Now,
yeah,
you just have to have liver made right.
no, I can't stand the smell of it cooking.
Oh, that's sad.
Can't handle it. Beef liver. I can eat chicken liver. Chicken
Okay.
liver, yep, I can eat that all day long, but
Okay.
beef
So,
liver, not so much. And tongues, and I mean, I'm Italian too. I'm French and Italian, so I mean,
ah,
octopus is also off the menu. I tried that, I really did, but no, I can't. No, the
yeah.
Italians eat some really weird things. I came home one day when we were living in New York, and my brother-in-law was cooking dinner, and it smelled so good. He's like, "Go look in the pot," and I looked in the pot, and there was an entire sheep's head. I had a sandwich that night. I was like, "It smells really good, but I just can't eat food that looks at me."
Now, if you can do chicken livers, that
Oh
means
yeah.
I can finally have someone to share dirty rice with me because
Oh
that's
yeah. I love dirty rice.
actual chicken livers. And yum 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 yum.
Oh yes, yes. Oh, we have
It's
got to get it. We're not that far from each other. We need to get together and cook.
See, you said that. Now, all my friends are going to be wondering, when they get tickets to this,
Yeah. When,
can they come over and like bring some Tupperware?
yep. When we get together, we will have a party. When Terry and I get together, we'll invite everybody. You guys are
Uh,
all welcome. We'll make all kinds of food.
I
So
think I need a permit for that kind of party.
we'll do it in Maine.
Okay.
We got plenty of land here.
Ah. So where was I? All right, I do
Yep.
kitchen witchery. So,
Hmm.
like I said, I tend to put a lot of love in my food. When people come over, people tell me that my house smells like baking, which is the way it's supposed to be. Um, I do divination, of course. I read tea leaves for myself. I do tarot for myself. I'm a kind of a tarot junkie. We don't want to talk about how many decks I have and how many books I have. So many books, but I can't help myself. They're just so wonderful.
Yeah.
And of course, I do my herb work and oil work with Magique.
Yep. I saw that. And herb work is awesome. I love herbs. And I don't care what path you follow, you're going to end up using herbs at some point in time in any path you follow. And herbs are just wonderful. Love herbs. Now, in your spare time, and things that you like, which she has none of, by the way, just so everybody knows, she has no spare time. Trust me. Um, you like singing. You like, I'm going to pronounce this totally wrong, djembe drumming.
Yes, I do.
Yay!
Yes,
And your tarot,
yes,
obviously.
of course.
But you did drum with the Dragon Ritual drummers and the Blue
Yes.
Raven drummers.
Yes, the Dragon Ritual drummers are our local boys. They are from Niagara or Niagara region. They're in
Hmm.
St. Catharines. On occasion, when they have need of me, if I'm in town, they ask me to come and drum with them. It's a very, very special honor because it means I don't suck as a drummer. And,
Which is always good.
and they trust me.
Yeah.
They never ask much of me, but when they call, I'm just going to drive and be there and do my best. I also share a very, very interesting honor. There are only about a handful of women in the world that have actually drummed with them, and
Oh,
I'm one of
wow.
them. So
Wow.
it's a big thing.
Yeah.
It's a big thing. So, like, when I'm standing, I've got my harness on, my djembe, and, who doesn't tell me to get off the stage, I, I get looked at. They're like, "You're a girl." "Yeah." "And you drum." "Uh-huh." And then, the strange looks happen. Now, you gotta remember, the Dragon Ritual drummers, they're an all-male troupe.
Hmm.
The Blue Raven drummers are all female.
Oh, wow.
And that is a completely different vibe. Just as intense, but it's a completely different vibe drumming with all females. And that's a fantastic experience, and one that I urge all women to do. Is just, try and drum, even if it's a frame drum, because it's a wonderful experience that anyone can have and anyone can learn. I taught myself how to play djembe because I saw the TRD play, and I said, I have to do that. I have to do that if it kills me. So I taught myself to drum. It took me about 3 years. Played my hands to crap. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Now,
it's
for somebody who doesn't know what type of drum this is, can you describe it?
the djembe is a goblet drum from the westernmost coast of Africa.
Hmm.
So basically, it's shaped like a goblet with a round hole at the bottom. It's made out of hardwood,
Hmm.
and top it's usually skinned with goat skin.
Oh, nice.
So, and the drum is one of the oldest instruments in the entire world.
Oh, that's
Um,
awesome.
oh yeah, and the people in Mali and Ghana, they've been making drums pretty much since the dawn of time. So it's a very interesting thing because each drum is made from a different tree. Each drum has a story. Usually, if you get a drum from Africa, each one is going to have a different symbol on it that means a different thing. Sometimes they're Sankofa, sometimes they're just different symbols from different tribes that are there. Each one has a different sound.
I was going to ask you that. I'm sure that each drum, with it being different woods and stuff, would have different sounds.
Yes. And the interesting thing is that when you're dealing with traditional African rhythms, which everyone should learn, even if they just know the names of them and how they sound,
Hmm.
each of those rhythms tell a story, which is very interesting because when you play this certain rhythm, you are literally going back in time to the time when these rhythms originated. Like when you play this certain rhythm, it was played when the women came back from fishing and they were praising their haul and the men folk were coming out to help mend the nets. So those are things that are very powerful to me because music is such a huge part of my spiritual path. So I just talk about djembes a lot. So I really, really enjoy.
Well, that's awesome. Well, we have a question in the chat room from Ben Stimpson. Is the djembe drum the type you do drum talk with?
Um, you can. However, drum talk is a little bit different.
I'm not even sure what drum talk is, so that tells you something right there.
Um, Drum talk is a little bit different, and you can do it, but I would suggest that you talk to someone who actually does drum talk. Because if you have a drum, if you have basically something that can make noise,
Hmm.
you can do just about anything, that will mimic a drum.
That is
So it's
very
a little bit
interesting.
different. Because like even in the world of African drums, there is something that's called a talking drum. And that's not one that you like put a harness on and play. It's one that actually tucks up under your arm,
Oh,
and
wow.
you play it a little bit differently.
Almost like
So
a
yeah,
bongo type of drum, like a smaller
almost,
drum. Yeah.
almost. But it also has cords on it
Hmm.
because when it's tucked up under your arm, you squeeze it, and the cord actually pulls the skin a little bit tighter, so it makes a higher pitched noise.
Ah.
So it's a little bit different.
I think that would be a little bit harder to play too. I think it would take a little bit more learning to learn how to play something like that as well.
Usually, if you're a djembe fola,
Hmm.
which is a master drummer, you can usually play a talking drum.
Hmm.
I am not that good, but there we go. So I would look at the talking drum for that.
Interesting. All right, we are going to take a short break right here so we can listen to some of our wonderful sponsors because, they do a great job at keeping us on the air. So, but when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about your graphic design stuff, your writing stuff, your PBN, your company, and everything else. So don't go anywhere, everybody. Stay tuned. We will be right back.
The Raven's Rune is a spiritual resource center where you will find magical things for magical people. Handcrafted candles, incense, essential oil blends, and amazing hand-tooled custom leather goods. Check out their Wheel of the Year candle and incense packs. Each Sabbat has its own special blend, made during the correct moon phases by a practicing British traditional witch, to give your magic a boost. Using her knowledge and expertise, these products don't just smell good, they work. And you'll love the hand-tooled leather goods, Book of Shadows, journals, bracers, candle mats, and many other ritual tools. You'll revel in the magical feel of old world craftsmanship. They also offer unique psychic readings. Liz is a talented sensitive. Her insightful readings are unique and come from many years of experience of working in the psychic and paranormal fields. Her compassion and empathy with clients make her readings truly meaningful. Let a consultation with this talented clairvoyant help you through the difficulties in your life and find the path to achieving your goals. So, if you're looking for unique and genuine magical wares and tools, be sure to check them out on Facebook at The Raven's Rune. or visit the website where you can see all their wonderful offerings. The Raven's Rune, www.theravensrune.ca.
Since 2014, the Pagan Business Network has been building resources by bringing together pagan-owned and pagan-friendly businesses. With multiple resources available, it doesn't matter if you're an artisan, musician, vendor, author, publishing company, blogger, podcaster, event planner, or any other organization. We have the resources here to help you succeed. Becoming a member is easy and affordable, even for the smallest of budgets. With your membership, you will get Business Spotlight, which is an article written in an interview style, complete with details and photos. Social media sharing through the Pagan Business Network. A blog roll. A membership card for discounts at participating businesses. You'll also get discounts on tickets to all Pagan Business Network events, and so much more. You can check us out at paganbusinessnetwork.com for more information. And welcome back, everybody, to Walking the Crooked Path. I am your host, Raven Wings, and today I have with me Reverend Terrie Brookins. And if you missed the first part of the show, if I could speak, I'd be doing okay. If you missed the first part of the show, you missed a lot. So, I feel sorry for you. Get here on time. Oh yes, get here on time. You want to hear you want to hear this show. This show is awesome. It's awesome because I have an awesome guest. So it's just it's easy when you have a great guest. It's like it's easy. So I want to get into the fact that you're a graphic design artist.
Yes, I am a graphic designer. I have an associate degree in graphic design. I am a art kind of nerdy person. I love symbols, which is probably why I like the tarot so much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've been a designer for about 17 years now.
Oh wow, long time.
Yep, once or twice.
Yeah.
I remember when we actually for the graphic designers out there. I remember when we used to actually cut film and run it out to a press and
oh wow,
run like huge. Yeah, it was great. Great getting like printer's ink on my nice silk shirts was fantastic. But I learned a lot. I basically applied the witch's approach, which is you find the oldest person there who's been there forever. You get a piece of pen and paper, and you say, "Tell me a story."
Yep.
And you write down everything that they tell you.
Yep. Now you're doing some graphic design still, correct?
Yes, I'm looking for work, so I am still looking for a graphic design position.
Mm-hmm.
I am doing a little bit of freelance on the side, not a lot though. And yeah, I still do it. I still love it. I still try to bone up on my skills as much as possible. I've recently finished some social media certification, so I can now do social media consultation as well.
Oh, that'll work, especially if you combine that with the graphic arts. You could do like a package deal. Not only can I consult you, but I can do your art for you too.
Yes. Sometimes it just applies to just sit right there, be pretty, give me your money.
Yeah, exactly.
And I actually remember I had a customer who was really, really frustrated. She'd been working with another designer for I don't know how long. And she brought me her stuff, her design, and she says, "Can you just make this awesome?" I said, "Yes. I can make it awesome for you." And 15 minutes later, I remade her graphic, and she was just the happiest woman alive. I think she floated out of the store. Yeah, so.
I see. Now that's awesome. It's awesome when you can make somebody happy like that. I just love that. I love making people happy. Now you're also a writer too, correct?
Oh, yes, I am a writer. I have written a few books of poetry, and I'm currently working on several books of fiction when I have time. Ha ha ha! Insert funny laughter here.
I was gonna say, yeah, when you have time.
I do enjoy writing. I enjoy creating as well. I find that when I do my writing, whether it's poetry or just fiction, it works a lot into my magic. I'm currently working with Taylor Elwood with his groups when we're working on pop culture magic, which is very cool. It's very cool stuff. Yeah, it's very cool stuff. We'll have to ask Taylor to come on the air and talk with us about it.
Oh yes,
yeah,
definitely. definitely, because that sounds very interesting.
It is. It's actually very cool. It's using the culture that we have because every culture has their own myths, right?
Oh, yes.
And it's using the culture of pop culture. So yeah, so I work a lot of that into what I do.
That is cool. That is really cool. So that's what you're working on now, is the little bit of that and some fiction. And because I was going to ask you what you're working on now, so you already answered that question. I love it when a guest answers a question before you ask. It works out really well. So you also have a company called Beau Magique.
Yes, Beau Magique.
Beau Magique. Tell our listeners about Beau Magique.
You okay? Beau Magique. Beau Magique is my little endeavor to help as many people as possible with as much magic as I possibly can, because I can't be everywhere and help everyone.
Oh, come on. We know you can split yourself up and, time travel and all that stuff.
Not quite mastered time travel or teleportation. I'm working on it still.
When you do, let me know, because I need to know that one.
I know, right? So Beau Magique was born. Basically, the first two sprays that I make, because it's basically altar sprays, ceremony sprays, room and body sprays. I make anointing, condition, and perfume oils, body powders, mojo bags on request, and other things. Beau Magique got its start with two main products. One was the Celeve, which is a sort of feel better spray. It's a get out of bed, feel better. I was sick for about 2 weeks, and my doctors didn't know what was wrong with me. They said I was fine. Sure, I'm fine.
Yeah, I spent 5 years being told I was fine. It was all in my head.
So I said, forget this. So I went down to the lab, as small as it was at the time, and I made a mixture called Celeve. And I changed my sheets. I sprayed my bed. I used it like Lysol. And 2 days later, I was fine. Like, beyond fine. Like, picture of health, fine. It was really, really weird. So, I thought, okay, once could be a fluke. Maybe. No. I got sick again. I'm like, nope, we're done. I sprayed Celeve everywhere, and I was better in, like, literally a day and a half.
Wow.
So, yeah.
See, and I've always said that, we need less antibiotics and mechanically, made drugs in this world, and we need to go back to a lot of the homeopathic natural remedies from the past. The only problem with that is most of your plants that you can buy to use are chemically sprayed, so you have to grow your own stuff so you know that it's not sprayed.
Or you can go with organically grown essential oils, which is what I use.
Yeah.
And I try to get the highest quality I possibly can. And basically, I use the oils, a secret mixture, of oils. And the other thing I used was the water. Now, I've tried tap water. No luck. I've tried boiled water. Haha, funny. I've tried water that you buy at a store.
Yeah.
Not happening.
Yeah.
Then one full moon, I found a spring.
Mm-hmm.
Now, where I live in Canada, we're on the Canadian Shield, but water is bubbling up through the ground. And this spring was running. It runs nonstop. And I got water that I gathered under the full moon. And I used this water to make my Celeve.
Ah.
Yeah, I think that has a lot to do with it as well.
I absolutely agree with that, because I remember growing up, I was born in Laconia, New Hampshire. So I lived in New Hampshire, but I lived in a different part at the time, and we had a brook that ran up there. It was constantly running, and the water was always cold. Didn't matter what the temperature was outside, and you could drink right from that brook. And I don't care, unless people drink water and actually drink water. Water tastes different.
Mm-hmm.
Different waters taste different, and bottled water tastes different than tap water, and this brook, just, oh my God. I remember that water in that brook, and just amazing. And I do. I think the water does make a difference.
Mm-hmm, it does. And this water, basically, it stayed cold, even when it's hot outside. From this particular spring, it runs 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, even when it's minus 35 Celsius.
Oh, yeah. So, that's good water.
That's good water.
That's good water
Um,
right there. See, the
uh,
Fountain of Youth isn't in Florida. It's in Canada. It's in Canada.
it's in Canada. So that was the first spray that I made. So I thought, hey, it could be fluke. So me being from New Orleans, I wanted to basically cleanse my house, but I couldn't burn any incense because I just couldn't burn any incense at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, well, what can I do? Oh, I could just use Florida water.
Mm-hmm.
Good luck finding Florida water that wasn't, in a dusty bottle on somebody's bottom shelf and smelled like what. Yeah, it wasn't good.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, I'll make my own. Sure, I can do that. So then I put that idea on the shelf for about 6 months. And I was preparing for a Pagan Pride Day. I had an information table, and I'd forgotten to actually make something to sell to pay for the table.
Oops.
Oops. Oops. So it's now like 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, I have enough to make Florida water. Why not? So I made 4 bottles.
Mm-hmm.
They were these horrible dollar store bottles, and yeah, it was the bottles were terrible.
But the water was great.
So I had them on the table, and the day goes by. It's during Pagan Pride Day. It was a great day, and someone says, "What's that?" I'm saying, "Well, it's Florida water." So someone says, "What's Florida water?" Then I explain to them what Florida water is. It is basically the sort of general name for this cologne that came over from Germany into Florida into the 1700s and 1800s, and it was very citrusy, it was very floral, and the magical practitioners at the time, in the 17 and 1800s, realized that it worked.
Mm-hmm.
It worked just about as good, if not better, than smudging. So basically, they used it for everything. So someone opens up the top, they smell it, and basically it was, shut up and take my money. Okay.
Okay. Not a problem.
So 3 bottles gone, and then there was a vendor across the road from me,
Mm-hmm.
and just as she's getting out her money to buy the last bottle, someone takes the last bottle out of my hand.
Oh.
And then she says, "What was that?" That was my Florida water. Says, "Do you have any more?" Nope. And that's when I got my first order for a dozen.
Oh, there you go.
And it's been nonstop ever since. The interesting thing about how I work Magique is that I don't just make things that are random.
Mm-hmm.
I like to make products that people need, like practitioners need. So basically, there are people around me who can't do a lot of smoke. They can't do the inhalation because of their lung problems. But they can do sprays, and they're water-based.
Yes.
So it all works out.
Yeah. See, I lived in an apartment building and did a smudging one time and set the entire smoke detecting system off by doing that. Yeah, those are the times you want to use a spray.
Yeah. And like I said, they're water-based. They have essential oils in it. I actually made a spray for my lovely friend Kathleen,
Mm-hmm.
who was in hospital at the time. And because it's all water and essential oils, it's safe to spray in hospital. And
Yeah.
it was just lavender. I had some amethyst crystals and some rose quartz crystals at the bottom for like love and support
Mm-hmm.
while she was convalescing in the hospital, and she loved it. So I can't question the magic, folks.
No.
I can't question it. So yes.
No, and
So,
and
yes.
I totally believe in aromatherapy and stuff like that too, because it's amazing what scents can do for you. They even tell people with depression to have certain scents in their home to help them with depression and stuff. Which is, you living up north, you know what the winter depression is like. And a lot of people suffer from that. So if you can get scents that lighten your mood and make you feel better when you're stuck inside because there's 200 feet of snow outside, yeah, I mean, it's amazing what your scents can do for you.
Yes, and that's the product that I made for my friends who suffer from seasonal affective disorder. It's called Soleil,
Mm-hmm.
and it's lemon, orange, and lime.
Oh.
I'm told that it smells like Pez or candy. So
Ooh.
I don't know. I make the magic.
Yep. And
But-
people figure it out from there. Cardia in the chat room says, I spray Beau Magique Florida water in my hair. My day just doesn't go as well if I don't. See, so there's another use for it. You can actually spray it. If I spray water in my hair, forget it. It would look like that I just came out of the dryer. All the pictures Did you see me with my hair looking good? Yeah, that's after a straightening iron or a curling iron. Otherwise, it's just everywhere. I look like one of them trolls from the 70s. Yeah, that's what my hair looks like. So, yeah, I sprayed Florida water in my hair, and I'm gonna look like that too. I've
Oh
walked through.
no.
Yeah, humidity. Oh, not good on the hair. No, 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 no. So you have this wonderful company that you're
Mhm.
making all kinds of stuff for. So yeah, this is, and I will put up links on the Walking the Crooked Path page to her business page as well, so you guys can check out her Beau Magique, because some of those things look just awesome. Oh, and look,
Yeah.
we already have it in the chat room as well. So, if you're in the chat room and not just listening and you're actually in the chat room, you can click right on that link, which I love that about this chat room. You can actually click on a link. So, we are going to take another short break here so that I can get some of our sponsors in here, because we love our sponsors. But when we kind of, yes, we do. And when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about your role at PBN. So, hang on, everybody. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
Have you been searching for that perfect candle for your project or working? How about for a specific intent? Something other than the big box store candles made from mystery wax? Then look no further. Visit the Waxing Witch on Etsy for the best selection of handcrafted candles anywhere. Pillars, votives, shaped, plus some giftable candles you won't believe. All their candles are made in-house using a variety of waxes: soy, palm, beeswax, paraffin, and all are clearly noted in the listing, so there's no mystery wax here. From a whole line of saints candles to archangel working candles, and you have to see the new Wicked Wonderland spell candles. They're made to work wickedly quick and wonderfully easy. Or the fun new Sanderson sister pillars. Those are a hoot. And I can't forget their skull candles. These are phenomenal. The burn is beautiful, and I really won't work a trick without one. But that's not all. Any candle can be customized with a scent of your choice, or
When
even
they're
color if you
integrating
prefer something different. They
to
love
each other,
special
I'm like,
orders and will
okay,
work with you to make your candle the way you want
sure.
it. They do unity candles, hand fasting candles, or candles made for events, so don't hesitate to ask. You won't find folks easier to deal with, and they all come from their little shop on a Louisiana bayou. So do yourself a favor. Check them out on Etsy at The Waxing Witch. That's The Waxing Witch, witch spelled WYTCH. Tell them PBNR sent you for a little surprise with your order. Is your ritual cloak ready for the rad bend? Are your guest towels sad and worn? Is your tote bag begging to retire? Then you need Twitch's Stitches. Twitch's Stitches is a custom embroidery shop with a pagan flair. From the classics and everyday designs to ornate ritual style, fantasy, furries, mythical, and so much more. They do t-shirts, ritual capes and cloaks, sweats, towels, blankets, hoodies, totes, and more. You name it, Twitch's Stitches can embroider it. And they love custom orders, so if you don't find what you're looking for, they're only a phone call or a message away. So if you want quality items lovingly crafted and embroidered, you have to check them out on Facebook. And that's www.facebook.com/Twitches Stitches. That's TWITCHES However, we can't be held responsible when your friends and family try to swipe them, so tell them to get their own. Twitches Stitches, for the love of design.
And welcome back, everyone, to Walking the Crooked Path. I am your host, Raven Wings, and today I have Reverend Terrie Brookins in with us, and we are having a ball. We are. We're having fun. This is not an interview. This is just a couple of people just chatting. I love doing interviews like this. We can just talk. It works better that way. So now you are a big part of what we do here at PBN.
I like to be an invisible part.
Yes, but you do have a role, because
I do.
I do message you a lot. I'm like, Terrie, help. Terrie, this picture won't fit. Terrie, poor Terrie. Terrie ends up with more messages from me, I think, than she wants. But she's like, and I'll start it with, I have a question, and she'll answer with, do I need a drink? And I'm like, probably. So, yeah.
You gotta be prepared, people. Be prepared.
Yeah, exactly. So, what is your role at PBN besides, helping all of us who are new here to try to do this?
My role at a Pagan Business Network is managing director. And what that means is that I take all these big picture, crazy ideas that all of our wonderful members want to see for our community
Hmm.
when it pertains to business and try to make them happen. Once upon a time, we thought, hey, wouldn't it be great if we had a radio station that was for our business people that talked about our businesses? And here we are a year later, voila, with our wonderful, fantastic owner at the helm, Carissa Iskowich.
Hmm.
You're making it done. So yeah, we're getting it done.
Yes.
That's what I do.
Yep. But you're also, more than that. You are like our go-to person for especially us on the radio, us hosts and stuff. We go to you with all kinds of questions with, pictures and graphics and this and that and the other thing. So your graphic design degree is paying off with helping us with a lot of questions. So, yeah, she had to remake 2 of my pictures to make them fit because I made them and they were squishy. So, yes, you can look at the artwork that's on this wonderful page and you can thank Terrie for that because she did that for me. So,
It's just what I do. Basically, I think of, the old commercial that if you don't look good, I don't look good.
right,
And
exactly.
if you look fantastic and you have great business, that means I'm in business.
Hmm.
So I would like to see all of my fellow pagan business owners just have great sales, have great businesses, have enough money and cash flow coming through that they can take care of themselves, they can have homes and not have to worry about it. So that's part of what I do, try to make these things happen for people.
Trying to make our lives easier. Is what
Yes,
she
it's got to
does.
be easy.
Yes,
will,
we're giving her gray hair, but yes, she's making our lives much easier.
if I can find as many cheap or free tools as possible for you to have a better experience either online with your graphics or with your business, that's what I'm here to do.
Yeah, definitely.
And part of the Pagan Business Network is doing that.
And a big part of the Pagan Business Network is networking,
Yes.
and Terrie is great at helping us network because, she's just good. She's just good.
So I would like to state for the record, someone asked me, do I really know everyone? Not really.
But if you know this person knows that person knows the other person. Yeah, it gets to the point where it's just all networking, and that's what it is. It's networking. That's why it's the Pagan Business Network. It's so we
I'm
can
pretty
all
sure,
network.
Yeah, pretty sure we can play 6 degrees of separation. So we might know almost everyone, collectively.
Yes.
But that's just it. If I know someone who can help you out, I'm going to try and find a way to get those people to you.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And
Because
Darcy in
your
our
business.
Darcy in our chat room says it is tough to make a living as a pagan business owner. I know and have done it, and that is why I support my artisans and vendors in my community like Terrie and Ben. And it is true. And we need to start supporting our local businesses. Walmart is a corporation. Yes, they have great pricing, but you're not going to get the quality that you're going to get from a small business. You're not going to get the actual hands-on, it was made with love type of, thing that we get from like you can buy Florida water in bulk from, a distributor, but it's not going to be handmade. It's in a conveyor belt process,
Well, and don't forget, most of the smaller businesses, the smaller businesses, they stand by whatever they do.
Mm-hmm.
So if you get a bottle of Florida water from me and something's just not right with it, either it smells off or the sprayer doesn't work, bring it back to me.
Yeah,
Bring it back to me.
exactly. I mean, I do a really small business because I'm just really small, and I make little poppets and stuff like that, and I've sold a few things.
You gotta see the poppets, people. Don't let it fool you.
The poppets with a pocket.
Ask
Yes.
for the link.
Yeah, those are my little ingenious designs so that they're pre-stuffed and pre-filled and blah blah blah, it's ready to be charged, but they have a little pocket in the back so that if you want to add something to it, you can. That was just one of my, I go to bed and my brain doesn't shut up. So
Welcome to the group.
yeah, I can't. I just, I watch the old man go to bed and he's out in 2 minutes. I'm still thinking about stuff 3 hours later. So, these are where these, silly little ideas and stuff come from. So yeah, I mean, and I make those by hand, just like you do yours. So, I mean, you can go out and buy a poppet in a store, great. So, but you're not going to get the hands-on stuff. It was sewn on a machine. I don't sew with a machine. I couldn't use a sewing machine if my life depended on it. I can't even thread the bobbin. I'm like, no, I do everything by hand. It has to be done by hand because I just, no. Me and mechanical things like that, I'd end up stitching my finger. So yeah, no, I'm good. I try not to put blood in my magic if I don't have to, especially my own. So yeah,
And
but
my good friend from Altruistic Apothecary, Alison Boswell, she told me a great thing. She says, if you don't go to these businesses, they won't grow.
mm-hmm.
If you don't go, they won't grow. So come on, just if you want to have all of these fantastic things in your community, go to those vendors. Go to those local events. Go to your local pagan pride days. Go to those open circles. Go to them, because that's the only way your real community, your real networking with real people is going to grow.
Yeah, exactly. And see, I live in a little western Maine town, and we don't have any kind of pagan pride here. We don't have, well, every pagan that's here that I've met, I wear my pentagram fully out. Always have, always will. I've, never had a problem, knock wood, but I've met pagans who are very closet bound here. And there are a ton of them in my town. They really are. There are a ton of them in my town, but they're all closet bound, mostly because of jobs that they work in. And like the hospital here is church run. So you can't be a pagan and work there. So you have to hide that fact. We have one store that has moved into town that actually has a little itty bitty section. It's a bookstore, but it's more like a comic store. But it has one little itty bitty section with tarot cards and books and some herbs and gemstones and stuff like that. But for the most part, we have no pagan anything up in this area.
Now, see, this is an interesting thing. You said they have comic books.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how much mythology is hidden in comic books?
Oh, yeah. I totally agree. I mean, this is a man who I ended up trading him for store credit because we barter up here, which is really good. I had a Franklin Mint Bast Cat 24 karat gold crystal ball, huge crystal ball. And I ended up trading him for store credit so that I could get herbs and stuff that I wanted to get. So, I mean, he's not really pagan, so to speak, but he does understand the ways, and he's really into the Egyptian stuff. So that's how that ended up happening. But I mean, this is the only place I can go in this area that has, anything pagan. I lived in Waterville, which is a really big town up here, and they have nothing. Nothing, wow. No place to go, nothing. So, I mean, if it wasn't for online small businesses, I wouldn't be able to get a lot of the things. I make a lot of my stuff because I just can't buy it. It's just, there's nowhere to buy it. So,
and that's another reason why I make the things that I do. It's because I have the time and I have the mindset to actually have all of these recipes, know what to do, figure it out, so I can make these items where other people who really need them, they may not have the time or the space to get it done.
Yeah.
Almost anyone can make Florida water. Do they have the time? No. Do they even have the wherewithal to go get water or leave their homes? Not always.
Exactly.
But if I can make it for them, that makes me happy, and that fills a need for them. So that's another reason why I do what I do.
Exactly. And, that's what we all need to do. We all need to be, and standing together, as pagans, help each other out, a little less backstabbing, especially on the candle front. Oh my God, those candle people, they kill each other over a spot for a candle. You can't be next to me. You're selling candles too. It's like, no, come on.
I don't care.
You gotta love it. You gotta love it.
And you know what? If they have something that I don't have, I'll send them over.
Exactly.
If I'm at an event and someone says, "Oh, do you have this lavender blah blah blah?" No, I don't. But so and so around the corner and 2 stalls down has it, and she only has 4 left. The last time I was there, you should go buy it now. So I don't care.
Exactly.
Because if we're all in business, we're all in business.
I think we may have just gotten cut off by the schedule, so it's quite possible. It kind of looks like it. Yep. Okay, we're back up. I'm hoping. Yes. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Our programming is scheduled, and we went a little over. So
Whoops.
it kind of bopped us for a second there, but we're back. We're back. So
Hi.
hi, sorry about that. Yes, if we have programming and we go a little over, it just kind of goes into the set programming. So bear with us on that. But we are back. But we are going to be closing up because I want to leave you guys wanting more, and I want to be able to have Terrie come on again. So and Terrie's in the process of working on another type of show that
Oh
I'm
my
sure
God.
we'll talk about in the future. Um, if you read the question of the day today on the Walking the Crooked Path page, it'll give you kind of a hint of the type of show that Terrie's thinking about working on. So, but thank you so much for being on with me. This was fun, and
Thank you.
I told you we would have fun.
Oh yes, yes.
It's not nerve-wracking. You're going to have so much energy now when you get off my show. Ask Laura Perry. Laura Perry
I'm,
messaged me
I'm
when she did my show, and she goes, normally it's so draining, but you left me with so much energy. I'm like, oh, good. I'll be
I actually
taking a
have to go
nap.
to the I have to go to the lab, so yeah, I got more product to make because
Oh,
I'm insane. I'm making 52 new products this year, so
oh
I'm a
my God.
little crazy. So I'll
Wow.
be in the lab if anybody needs me.
Yes, so she'll be in the lab working her little fingers to the bone. But yeah, I'm going to put up her Bon Magique page on the Walking the Crooked Path page. Yes, I can talk. Really, I can
She
sometimes.
can. She's awesome.
Sometimes, and so everybody can check that out. And definitely, I'm going to have you on again. You know this, right?
Yes, I know.
Okay. Yeah. Well, she will be on. If you guys listen to my Thursday show, she will be on May 5th with me. We are going to do a hoodoo show. So she is going to come in and be my guest host for the hoodoo show. So you guys mark your calendars. It's a Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern time. You want to check out that show as well. I will have Terrie back for that one as well. But thank you again so much, hun, for being on. I appreciate it so much.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
All right, hun. You have a great day, and thank you all for listening, and thank you everybody in the chat room. We had great questions and great comments. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
See you later.